Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 15 of the Journeyman Sports Podcast. So today, got a little week 7 breakdown overview. It's a pretty crazy week of football for sure. So I'm just gonna talk about some of the games. I'm not gonna try and make this one too long, but sorry it's been a week since we uploaded. I had a crazy week of school. I know Kate had some stuff going on too, but it's just been, yeah, for college I had tests, 4 quizzes, 2 papers due. Like, it was a crazy week for me. So I didn't really have any time to record, but I'm going right now at halftime of the Steelers Dolphins game. So trying to get this out, and then also going to try and get an NBA season prediction out there at some point this week, I'm hoping. So we'll get into this week 7 overview. I'll start off with the Thursday night game where Cardinals ended up taking it home 42-34. Finally had a Thursday night game that had some action, some points. 14 of them came from the Cardinals defense, thanks to Andy Dalton, who is playing an interesting style of football right now. He's got some touchdowns, but he's also got a lot of interceptions. So interested to see how that quarterback battle with not even, I mean, just that whole quarterback situation with them, with the Saints, is going to work out as the season progresses. Kyler Murray had a decent game, nothing crazy. Benjamin was really, him and DeAndre Hopkins really got the offense going for Arizona. Yeah, I mean, Benjamin had a really good game. It's not exactly what I would have expected if you would have told me that, but the Cardinals get it done. They move to 3-4. In that division right now, it's Seahawks are 4-3, I believe. The 49ers are 3-4, and then the Rams are 3-3 or 3-4 too. So anything in that division can happen. So the Cardinals, that's a good win for them. They're going to stay in the mix in that division, which is really just what you're trying to do right now. I mean, this season in the NFL it's been unique. It's been drunk, honestly. I would not have believed most of the stuff you would have told me is going on right now at the beginning of the season. But the Saints, they still look solid. I mean, a really good game from Chris Olave, 2 touchdowns from Juwan Johnson. Like, the Saints are a really good team. Like, they're a good team. It's just like, I don't know. It's just the quarterback situation. I think if they had a better quarterback than either of the two that they had, they'd be a lot better off. So Cardinals get a good, much needed win there and bring us to the Browns and the Ravens. So Ravens scrap out another win. It's just your typical Ravens victory. It's not pretty. It's gonna be unique. Never really gonna get that blowout game. It seems like it's almost always gonna be close with them. But the Browns, solid day. Nick Chubb had a good game. Amari Cooper, Peoples Jones played well. Really sad to see Njoku get hurt. But the Browns had their chances to win this one too. The Ravens, Lamar with pretty Lamar stats. Gus Edwards comes in and takes a lot of the carries that I thought Kenyon Drake would have gotten in this game with what's his name? J.K. Dobbins being out again. Your typical receiving numbers here. Nothing really crazy, but the Ravens, they scrap out another win. They're going to stay towards the top of that division. They're looking good right now. I mean, 4-3, the schedule they've had is good. I think they're only going to continue to get better as they get healthier. Obviously, once they can get J.K. Dobbins back, that's big. But they just got to keep chugging, and they're always going to be in every single game that they play. So it was a good game for the Ravens to win, especially against a divisional opponent. So here's the upset of the day by a mile. I saw something on Instagram, so I don't know how true it really is, but I saw that the line was almost 12 points on this game, I think. So for the Panthers to win this one by 18, being essentially flipping the script by 30 points, is crazy. I don't really know what's going on in Tampa Bay. I mean, Tom Brady, that first play of the game to Mike Evans, that's going to take, as a veteran team, it shouldn't do what it did to them today, but it just takes a lot of the wind out of your sails. So, yeah, I mean, Tampa Bay is 3-4, and that's, I think, three in a row. Um, they've lost, as we can see here, just no run game. I mean, 4 yards a carry, 2.5. Receiving is not bad. I mean, you're getting decent numbers here, but I mean, hey, shout out to the Panthers. They could easily lay down in this game after trading McCaffrey. Crazy week for them, but they get their running backs to step up. They each combine for 8 and 7 a carry, and then you get almost 200 yards rushing in this game. PJ Walker has another good game. He always seems to steal the spotlight somehow in these games that he plays in, but he's a baller. So, Panthers 2-5 really still. I mean, DJ Moore had a good game, which I'm glad to see. I feel bad for him, but I wouldn't be surprised if PJ Walker maybe once the other quarterbacks get healthy, if he could hold on to that spot, it wouldn't entirely blow my mind if that were to happen. So I'll be interested to see what happens with the Carolina quarterback room. And then Tampa's got to get it together. I don't know what it is, but I think it's the lack of the run game, as we can see here. But it's just, they've got a lot of stuff to work on. So we'll have to see. 3-4 is obviously not where they want to be, but that's still anyone's division. So see how it works out for those two teams going forward. The Bengals and the Falcons. Now this was just all Joe Burrow. I mean, that's a crazy game. 34-42 for almost 500 yards and 3 touchdowns is stupid numbers. So, I mean, the Bengals are getting hot. I figured they'd weather the storm from earlier in the season, but Mixon, not bad. I mean, he hasn't been able to get it going, but I mean, you have almost 3 receivers go over 100 yards. And it's just Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase, just a bunch of this Bengals offense is just crazy. When they protect Burrow, obviously it's against the Falcons, who aren't the best team in the league, but to put up those numbers, get a big win like this. Mariota played well. He's playing well this year. Just not a whole lot in the running game, honestly. I mean, you see 3.7, 3.1. Mariota had 5, but I mean, you just don't really expect the Falcons to beat a team like the Bengals. The Falcons are playing well this year. They're way exceeding my expectations, but I mean, it's pretty well. I mean, you never know again how the NFL's gone this year. Nothing's really set in stone, but that's a good win for the Bengals. Defend home field, keep the momentum building. That's all you got to do right now, especially in their division. But Falcons too, they're still in it. Their division is not very good this year, at least so far record wise. So they're still in the mix there too. So for our next game, we've got the Lions and the Cowboys. Now this one started off really slow, but eventually the better team will prevail, which was the Cowboys. Dak didn't look terrible in his return. Really glad to see that they stuck with pounding the ball. I mean, this is something I'm not sure if I talked about it on here, but I know with my friends and my dad and all that, I've talked about this. Like, they've got to stick with what was working with Cooper Rush, which was the run game. And I'm really glad to see that they didn't go away from that in this game. They stuck with the run. I mean, you see here, Tony Pollard, 7 yards a carry. Zeke had 2 touchdowns and 4 yards a carry. Like, they can run the ball and they still have weapons. I mean, CeeDee Lamb, Noah Brown, still got Michael Gallup. Dalton Schultz will get more targets now that Dak is back. So this offense can cook. Lions, I mean, I just don't really know what to make of them at this point. Like, they look really good some weeks. They put up however 30 or 40 points, and then they have games like this where they throw up a 6, and you just don't know exactly what to expect with this team right now. But I mean, I think holding the Cowboys to 24 is a pretty good number with the way the offense had been playing. You thought maybe they could reach that, but they fall short this week. Um, Still think they've got a lot of positives going on there in Detroit, but they'll they just got to start stacking some wins. You know, they're building the culture, but got to start winning some games. So good win for the Cowboys. Dak Prescott gonna keep moving towards putting those Cooper Rush demons behind him, I bet. So this game hurt me. This was a hard one. As a Jags fan, play them tight all game, and then a couple questionable calls by some officials, and then by Doug Peterson at the end of the game. End up losing this one in a game that the way that it was going, they should have won. Yeah, I mean, when you allow 200 and however 217 rushing yards, you're not going to win very many games. Our defense, I mean, I feel like our offense should be able to put up more than 23 points, but a Giants team is really good and they're legit, just as legit as they were last week. But Travis Etienne is having a really good season. Kirk obviously playing well still. I think that though the Jags are 2-5, I think they're a very good 2-5 team. Like I think there's not very many teams that would want to have to see the Jags. I think they're going to be, as we see in this, we saw it with the Eagles too. Like when they play good teams, they're a tough out. And I don't know exactly what they play the Broncos next week, so I'm really hoping they can win that game. But they dropped several in a row now, but still not holding out all my hope on them. I think they'll bounce back. They're still a young, new group that's learning how to win. So, the Giants look really good, and I'm not going to take anything away from them at all. But Jaguars is a game they should have won. But congrats to the Giants. Daniel Jones looks good. Saquon is back. I mean, he's running away with comeback player of the year to me if he just stays healthy. He's played so well this year. Really, really happy. League is a better place when he's playing well. And then Daniel Jones just killed him on the ground. I mean, that's for quarterback of his status. It's just shouldn't be having that as good as the Jags defense can play. But good win for the Giants. That's a big win. They stay at the top, close in that division to the Eagles, and they stay a game up on the Cowboys. So for our next one, this is another crazy game. The Packers and the Commanders. Commanders lose Carson Wentz last week to a broken thumb or broken finger. And then Green Bay just can't get it going right now. I mean, you see it here. There's just not a lot of the run game, especially in this one, but there's just, I mean, Green Bay's just really beat up on offense too, and that's not going to help. But I mean, hey, shout out to Washington. They've had a lot of noise going on. Taylor Heineke, it's a crazy day in the NFL, and this kind of describes how the season's going. Taylor Heineke and PJ Walker, two former XFL players, on the same day beat Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. So if that tells you that anything can happen in sports, that's a great example of it. But Washington, great game for them. Ran the ball very well this game. Terry McLaurin did his thing. I mean, the Commanders are solid. And we'll have to see exactly what happens down the line, especially at the quarterback position. But I think this team, they have a lot of the right pieces, and you see flashes, and especially in games like today where you beat, the Packers are 3-4, but they are better than that record. But it's bless me. Sorry if you were wearing headphones. But it's just a crazy game. I mean, Green Bay's got to get it figured out because Minnesota, if Green Bay isn't careful, Minnesota's going to run away with this division early. So Green Bay's got to bounce back, and then hopefully Washington can snag some momentum and keep it going. So that was one I did not see coming. I figured Green Bay off a couple losses would come in and just be zone, but they weren't. So now we move on to the Colts and the Titans. And this was I mean, the Colts are just so confusing to me right now. You have games like last week where they look great against the Jaguars. Matt Ryan's firing on all cylinders. And then you have this week where you come play the Titans on the road, which Titans are a good team, don't get me wrong. But that's a defense you should put up more than 10 points against. Let's just be honest. Colts defense holds them to 19, which I feel like with the Colts offense, 19 is a number you should be able to surpass almost every week. But we've seen a lot of struggles with the Colts offense and scoring touchdowns. But the one bright spot I will say is Paris Campbell and Michael Pittman too, but especially Paris Campbell's touchdowns back to back weeks. He's played really well this season, and he's been able to stay on the field, which is a big part of it too. So I'm really happy for Paris Campbell. Derrick Henry did not seem like he had 30 carries for 130 yards at all if you watch that game, but he's able to take a lot of the pressure off Tannehill in this game. Austin Hooper played really well, made a couple of huge plays for them. So Titans get more space in the division, which is not good as a Jags fan, and then also for the hometown Colts. But the Colts are really interesting. I don't know exactly what their future is going to entail, but I mean, I feel like if he keeps going at this rate, you got to give Sam Ellinger a shot. He looked really good in the preseason, and the offense just isn't moving right now. So Matt Ryan has 12 total turnovers, which is the most in the league. He's got 9 interceptions, 3 fumbles lost. So might have some further evaluating to do with the quarterback position if you are the Colts. So it's an interesting situation for them. But Titans get a big win at home. They keep furthering their lead in the division. And I'm going to have to get my computer charger. So hold on one quick second. Okay. Sorry. Small problem there, but we got the computer plugged up. So we're good to go. So Raiders and the Texans, didn't watch this one. Not sure many people did, but Raiders get a win here as they should. Better team at home. They got a lot of star power on this team. Derek Carr had a solid day. Josh Jacobs went absolutely berserk. Really hoping that he keeps playing well. He's in a contract year. He's a good player. So I'm hoping he continues to do his thing. Devontae Adams, solid game. Renfro, solid game. Just Raiders are so much better than their record, that roster especially, but they've lost a lot of close games to start the year, but hoping they can find some momentum. They can build off this win, even though it is against the Texans, but they can build off of this and keep making strides in the right direction. The Texans, Damon Pierce, another good game. Really hoping that he continues his push for offensive rookie of the year. Not bad receiving by any of these guys. Davis Mills continues to play solid. I really like him. I think he could be the quarterback of the future for this team. Just got to keep surrounding him with some good pieces and then see where he goes. But good win as expected by the Raiders here. So they'll try and keep moving to not bring up the bottom of the AFC West. Jets and the Broncos is kind of a slimy game. No Russell Wilson, for better or worse for the Broncos, but Breece Hall has a great game. Really, really hoping no major injury for him in his ACL. Hoping that he stays healthy. It's just a small injury, but not a bad game for Zach Wilson. Solid running all over. Nothing really receiving. This is a defensive battle. Brett Rippon did not play well. What do you really expect? He's essentially doing what Russell Wilson does for $244 million less. Not much in the run game. Jerry Jeudy solid. Dolchich is kind of breaking out. He's had a solid last 2 weeks. But the Broncos 2-5. I don't know if they're gonna try and make any crazy moves at the deadline or anything, but it'd be interesting to see if they just try and blow it up and just realize that it's not the team. I doubt they will, but great win for the Jets. This is exactly what I talked about with the Jags, who are still an up-and-coming team, not having the same success as the Jets are, but winning the games that you're supposed to, especially as crazy as the NFL has been this year, it's big to do that. And that's exactly what the Jets did this game. So that's a big win on the road, confidence booster for them. Good stuff. Good stuff by the Jets. So now for another crazy upset. The Seattle Seahawks go to SoFi, which not really home field advantage, and they just smacked the Chargers. Geno Smith continues to play well this year. Kenneth Walker he's starting to put his name into offensive rookie of the year. Really, really wish I would have kept him on my fantasy team. I drafted him originally, and then I had to drop him to make room for someone else. But he is playing extremely well right now. Obviously, we can see in this game 7.5 yards to carry, 168, and 2 touchdowns is just crazy. Nothing crazy in the receiving game. Marquise Goodwin, actually, 2 touchdowns. Remember him from a while ago. Chargers, they're just so damn inconsistent. Austin Eckler is essentially more of a receiver than he is a running back now. Mike Williams had a good game, but I don't know what's going on with the Chargers. It's like 1 week, can't beat this. They get beat by double digits by the Seahawks, and then they compete with the Chiefs other weeks. It's just, they're a complete mystery to me. And they've had a lot of injuries, yes, but the amount of talent on that team, I know they're a little top heavy, but I feel like they should just be better than their record. And these are, the games you have to win at home against the Seahawks team, who is not better than you really any facet of the game. So disappointing loss for the Chargers. Seahawks 4-3. I think they actually have the lead in their division, which I don't know. I don't know how, but good for the Seahawks. Really happy for them. That'll move us into the game right now, which is Steelers and Dolphins. This has been a pretty good game so far. Kenny Pickett and George Pickens had a nice connection for a touchdown. Kenny Pickett, holy cow. The pick in the pick. George Pickens, every time he gets the ball in his hands, just makes plays. And I hope that they can find ways to just keep getting him the ball, because he is explosive and he always makes plays. Tua's having a nice return, as we can see here. Made a couple bad throws, but he's getting the ball to his playmakers, as we can see. They're running the ball decent. I think Miami will pull this one out. I just think they have too much firepower, and they're gonna find their rhythm again in the second half. But yeah, it's good to see Tua back out there. He had one play where he scrambled out and just dropped his shoulder into the linebacker, which was not what I was expecting, and not, I'm sure, what the coaches have told him to do. But good to see that he's not terrified or paralyzed out there. That maybe not the best choice of words, but it's good to see that he's still playing football and he's still being reactive. He's still playing his game, and he's not terrified out there, which is great to see. And then we've got the Monday game tomorrow between the Bears and the Patriots. I believe Bailey Zapp is starting this game. I'm going to take the Patriots in this one. I think they're going to get to 4-3. They're going to keep the positive energy going. Keep riding the wave, kind of like the Cowboys did with Cooper Rush. I think they're going to keep doing that with Bailey Zapp, and Bill Belichick's not going to be afraid to keep playing him. If he's going to keep playing well, giving them the best chance to win. That's who's going to play. Doesn't matter what draft pick you are, how much money you make. If you're the best option, you're going to play. And I really respect that about Belichick. I think this Patriots team is just a lot better than the Bears. I think they're going to show that. Don't think there will be much fireworks in this one, but I think the Pats will win this game at home, especially get to 4-3, keep the positive momentum rolling there. So yeah, and then we completely missed the Chiefs 49ers. So this game was absolutely bonkers. So just have to read this off as a slight little flex here. So for my fantasy team, I've got 3 Chiefs players. Got Juju, McCole Hardman, and Travis Kelce. They gave me a lot of points today. 30 from Juju, 28 from Hardman, and 16 from Kelce. So 46 plus 28. I'm not very good at math, so hold on. They gave me 74 points between 3 people. That's awesome. Mahomes had a good game. Pacheco, I think is how you say it. He's starting to get a lot more carries, he's so fast. I mean, fits perfectly in this offense. Lair had another solid game, just putting up his sort of numbers. Cole Hardman with 2 rushing touchdowns. Didn't expect that. Still had a good game receiving through the air too. MVS stepped up big time. Juju he's put together, believe, back-to-back really good weeks. I could be wrong on that. Hold on. Yeah, against Buffalo, 5 for 113 in the touchdown. This week, 7 for 124 in a touchdown. He's had 40-plus yard touchdowns back-to-back weeks. He's really starting to take off in this offense. It makes me really happy to see that too. But Chiefs are rolling right now. One of the best offenses in the league. Jimmy G, solid day, just did his thing. CMC, which I can't wait to see him get more involved in this offense. He had 2 catches for 24 and then 8 for 38 on the ground. But you have to keep in mind, he got there Friday morning and played on Sunday. So he was going to have a really small package of plays. It's crazy that he even played. But I can't wait to see how much he elevates this team. They have one of the best run schemes in the league they have for the past couple of years. As explosive as McCaffrey is in that system, it's going to be ridiculous to see the numbers that he might put up and how much better he's going to make Jimmy Garoppolo. I think depending on how far, maybe not this year the San Francisco goes, but down the line, this could be one of the best trades potentially in NFL history. Honestly, if McCaffrey can just stay close to healthy and the 49ers can, which they haven't for a while, but really hope they can so they can fully maximize McCaffrey and that system can get the best of him too. But San Francisco is going to bounce back. This is just Kansas City's just crazy hot right now. And they're one of the best teams in the league for a reason. But yeah, so that'll do it for the week 7 breakdown. Hopefully we'll be getting episode of the NBA like I talked about. You guys have been doing crazy with the last 3 or 4 episodes ever since we've come back. Gotten a lot of views, which we're really, really thankful for. Can't thank you guys enough. Yeah, we're trying to keep it consistent. Only had the 1 last week, which we're a little bit bummed about, but we're trying to make it as consistent to get at least 2 out a week if we can. So we're gonna keep working, keep doing our thing. Hope that you guys keep enjoying the content. And yeah, we're just really thankful for all of you guys for watching, liking, subscribing, sharing, everything like that. So can't thank you guys enough for all your support. And that'll do it for episode 15 of the Journeyman Sports Podcast. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.